So this is my winter weapon for plowing my upper bush, which is 7 miles up the hill from here on the backside of a ski mountain basically. We got a 7-foot blade on the front from an old truck, angle blade. We can angle it left and right, up, down. This blade on the back, a bucket. It's a bucket on the back, 3-point hitch bucket that actually dumps. Pretty cool. I'll show you here. A little slow because the oil's cold. That bucket, right? You can raise it with a 3-point hitch, and then when you dump it, raises up even a little bit higher. Probably about 4 feet off the ground right there. 3-point hitch is all the way up. So it's good enough for cleaning out just to be able to get into the bush. But yeah, just getting ready to head up the hill here. It's about 10 degrees out, maybe 12, I don't know. Put the diesel fuel additive to it, put kerosene in the other day and ran it around, so should be good to go. Just gotta drive it up there and do the plow job. So what's a sugar maker do on a cold, snowy day when all the taps are in and really just kind of in the waiting game right now, waiting for something to happen, which is pretty common in the maple world? Go pick up an old broken snowmobile. I guess technically it's not broken, it runs and rides and everything, but you always need, you know, a good ride through the woods. It's kind of no fun to walk if you can help it. And I like these low slung, long track type trapping sled. So what I got is I got a Yamaha 400cc, the 1991 or 92. I guess they only really made them for ski resorts. They didn't make very many of them. But twin cylinder, we'll see how it goes. You know, we'll add it to the fleet. Well, here it is. Got it home, tested it. As you can see by the snow on the front, it's really just a submarine. It should be a snowmobile. 1991 Enticer 400 LT. I believe they only made this for 2 years. Goes okay. I mean, it'll work good in the woods, sugar woods. I do need to put a new track on it just because that one's pretty well wore out. It doesn't have much for lugs. Yeah, so I'll have to do some research on that. And unfortunately, here in the back, a milk crate doesn't quite fit in there, so I'll have to work on that. But, you know, she's low. With 400 power, though, it'll be fine for the sugar woods. You know, having it low isn't a bad thing. You know, it's fairly uncomfortable to sit on if you're taller than 4'4". But, you know, I got to get underneath lines and stuff, so I think it'll do the trick. You know, she's just a fan cooled, pretty simple. Got a speedometer though, you know, 2,400 miles. Does have reverse, an old manual transmission style reverse. But yeah, overall, not bad. So with all this heavy snow we've been having this year, well, I should say heavy, just a lot of snow lately. Had to deal with a little bit of issues here. Lines being buried, as you can see. Line goes in and then back out over there. So I'm gonna waste a lot of time and walk main lines and pull some out of the snow. What it was we had a wet, heavy snowstorm right before we started tapping. When was that? Late December? Or maybe it was first week of January, I guess. Maybe we just started tap. I don't know. It was right when we got going, and it was wet and heavy. And it got stuck on the lines up here in this bush where we're, whatever, I don't know, 2,000 feet, 1,800 feet here. And it kind of never really went away. And it just kept pushing the lines down. And we got more snow and more snow and more snow. And obviously, as we were tapping, we were pulling them out. But, yeah, some of them just kept getting buried. So this is my brand new lines. I don't know, maybe I need more support on them than I had. You know, I did cut the brush out of here before I tubed it. you know, about 20 acres that I cut the brush out of. You know, and that brush was probably holding the older lines up more so than I realized, I guess. So we're having to go through and yank them out and add some string, as much as I hate using string, or some tubing ties, tie backs with end hooks, which I like to use, but sometimes I run out and it's really a lot easier to carry the string. So yeah, that's what we're doing. So for those of you out there that think that maple is easy, I challenge you to put on your snowshoes and go for a hike up the steepest, deepest hill you can find. I'm out here right now checking some leaks and looking for a vacuum leak. Squirrel bite, mist tap, whatever. It's not warm enough for sap, but it's warm enough to find some leaks. And the snow's up over my knees with 30-inch snowshoes falling in. So yeah, it's tough. We got some sleet, freezing rain today. So it's making it difficult. There's a little crust now, so now you're falling in and then you got to pick up out of the crust. So it's not fun. Let's just take a little break here. I think my heart was up to probably, I don't know, 170, 180. Still got another 800 feet to go before we get to the end of this main line. And it's all beech trees and brush and stuff here, so the snow is like fluffy because it floats on top of the on top of all that stuff, kind of. So there's a lot of air in there. You fall through even more. So yeah, definitely loving life today. So everybody that's a sugar maker out there wearing snowshoes in the deep snow, you know what I'm talking about. Good luck out there, guys. First time for everything. First time I seen this on these spouts. Break like that. Hard walking is an understatement today. Snowshoes fall in and go under the crust. You go to pick them up and it's just crust. Again, oh, you can hear I'm winded. It's been a long day here. Super crunchy. Crust is like an inch thick. Out here looking for a couple leaks here. Everything's mostly froze, but just turned this system on. 2400 tap. And just trying to get some of the big ones. I walked up this line earlier and wasn't able to find the leak. So now I'm coming back down later in the day here with the sun out. And hopefully I find it, but as you can see, just massive chunks of glacier here as I'm walking. Oh, 2021 is just one of those years, I guess. Well, here it is, maiden voyage for the F650, truck number 1 or number 3, whichever you want to call it. 1,700 gallon tank, gravity fill here. We don't pump any of our sap. Gravity fill on and off. So we use electric releasers, so keep everything up high, pump into it. 3,000 gallon tank, lines buried about 500 feet down that way. That's where the low spot is, where the pump station is. Pumps up, we got concrete building here. And we're loading in with 3-inch milk hose. Well, all's well so far. You can see a nice step on the back. Be the maiden voyage with it, see how she likes to load and everything with this Cummins 5.9 6-speed. I'm hoping it's better than the old International we had last year with the 444. So time will tell. I think I got just about a load here for this truck. It was in between those 2 upper zip ties as you can see there, so should be just about right. So I don't know how many of you got setups like this where you got to run through a bridge or something like that. There's like, I don't know, 150 taps on the other side of this bridge. It's a concrete bridge. Now, you can see right here 2 saddles and 5/16 line that is hooked to the top of this main line. Runs all the way through there to the other side, okay? Now, what that is a dry line. Sometimes what'll happen, right, it'll get froze up underneath here in that bridge. like it probably is right now, pretty froze. You know, we had a run yesterday and it's cold, and it's definitely colder inside that concrete than it is outside. There's a lot of ice still underneath there. You know, everything's frozen solid. So more than likely when it tries to run again, it's probably not going to thaw out first. So I figured out they run this little dry line. Yeah, it's only 2 little 5/16 lines, but it gives a place for the sap that's trying to run, gives it a place to go. And, you know, it will thaw out later on in the day. The main line will thaw out. But, yeah, the Smart Trex helped me figure that one out. You know, because I'd have a 0 on the line, or low vacuum on this main line, but the sap was running, and come up here and, you know, figured out it was frozen underneath there. And I got a couple others like this too that run through culverts, and I did the same thing. So it's definitely worth doing.